What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of the Ricky Jones Jr. podcast. And I also have my great friend Oniala in the house today. As you can see, if you are watching on YouTube or if you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, you will hear his voice. Boom. And that's who that is, right? Now, wherever you are, if you would, click that subscribe button, click that follow button, and all those things in between, because today we will actually be talking about success. And I also termed, and I've been playing with some names, right? I'm always playing with names. Okay. So I like, you know how the main name is like the Ricky Jones Jr. podcast. Yes. The sub name I've been playing with is your favorite Christian podcast. Ooh. But now that it's like, you know, now it's like two people in the scene scenario. Mm-hmm. Now it's like maybe conversations with Christians. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. Conversations with Christians. I don't know. That's what we're going to do today. Conversations with Christians. And we're going to be talking about success. I love it. Because that is a topic that a lot of people talk about. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are chasing. A lot of people desire it. However, they don't have like a focus on what it is to be able to achieve success for their lives. Right? Yeah. Because success, well, we'll get into it. But before we get into it, O'Neal, what did you do this past week? Let me see. Now you could talk through like all the different things you do. Yeah. I was going to say I actually have a very busy life with a lot of things that happen. Let me see. This past week. Oh, one of the things I would say I'm definitely super excited about. Recently, I started working out a little bit. You know, right? I heard about that. To lose a little bit of weight, trying to get a little bit of fit. Shout out to Tony, Antonio. Yep. I call him Red Tony. Red Tony, we call him. There it is. So I go to his place, you know, we try to do regular every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Nice. 3 days a week. Yeah. Right. But this past week, I will say I didn't get a chance to do all 3 days. Yeah. But, because actually we celebrated my daughter's 19th birthday. So, that was happy belated birthday to you, ladies. Yes. So it was, we did that. In addition, you know. So wait, hold on, time out. Okay, you said you all celebrated their birthday Thursday. Yeah. Which I'm sure was like Thursday evening. So why did it stop you from working out? Oh no, good question. So I work out with Tony in the evening. Oh, okay. So he works until a certain time, and from there we go to his place in his garage. Gotcha. Where we kind of do a little bit. Yeah. Okay. See, I work out in the morning. So it threw me off when you said you couldn't do it. I heard his excuse. No. Okay. Excuse. Talk your talk. But yeah. No, we go later in the day, in the evening. So actually the group, I'm excited to say, first it started off with just Tony and I kind of talking about working out. Then it grew to then we were able to get, you know, Pastor Gamage involved. Nice. Then it grew. Then we got, you know, Chris Poe involved. Nice. And then recently it grew again and we got Antoine Underwood involved. Wow. All my brothers. It seems to be growing. Right. I'm excited to see where it continues to go. Continues to head. But I like that. But did that, and then another major thing that I did, you know, was I also teach. For those of you who don't know, I'm a professor at a local college here. Nice. And you can drop the name. You know what I'm saying? They pay you. They pay. Oh, that's true. Okay, so I'm a professor at St. Petersburg College. There it is. And so the semester started recently. So I've been grading a lot of papers. So I actually right now have 54 students. Yeah. Wow. So every week that's 3 submissions per student. So it's been very busy reading. Every week 3 submissions per student. That's so 150. I've been reading a lot and grading a lot, and that's outside of my full-time job and what I do anyway. But that's me though. That's my week. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, because not only are you a professor, but you also are, like you said, you have a full-time job. A full 40, and maybe some extra sometimes. This is true. You're also a father. I am. A father of 3. Yes. Right? But a father to many. Yes. And you're a husband as well. Yes. But you're also a person. So it's like... It's a lot. A lot in one. That is a lot. But what about you though, bro? I had a lot. What'd you do this week? This past week, man. Let me know. You know, I do a lot of YouTubing, right? So a lot of it is online, but I work out. So I do my workouts Tuesday through Friday. Trying to stay swole. Trying to. My goal, here's my real goal. My whole goal and idea is to be able to like play with my grandkids.
So I know living right and doing things right now will afford that opportunity, even though the kids right now are like 6 and 4.
Bro, that's crazy. We could talk about that in a moment, about the things that we do now.
Correct.
Playing a role down in the line in the future. But yeah, go ahead and continue.
So then there's that, but then obviously there's work as well.
Yeah.
I do that on a regular basis. And outside of that, it's been journaling, it's been reading, it's been planning. Crystal and I are like planning some big stuff. I can't disclose that information just yet. However, it is big, monumental, world-breaking stuff. And so, obviously, I'm excited about that. It's been fun working with her.
Yeah.
My wife being the her, because, I mean, we have 2 different trains of thoughts, but it's cool to be able to, like, work together through, like, frustration. You know, sometimes, like, bro, like, it's so simple. Why you ask me these questions? Why you looking at me like that? Like,
remember that book that was super popular a long time ago? What was it called? Men Are From Mars, Women Are From... I've never read the book, but you know.
I didn't know it was a book. I just thought it was a saying.
No, it's a book or something. Yeah, this is from like forever ago. You know, just the fact that we think so differently, right, when it comes to things.
Right.
You know, I think men were trying to like problem solve, or sometimes women like they'll just say things to put it in the atmosphere, just to say.
Right.
But then like
we're trying to like
say it and make it, try to fix it. Yep. Yeah, but that's not the case.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, continue.
So that's a thing which one day we're gonna have to talk about. Like
we will.
Working with a progressive wife.
Okay.
What? Because I know your wife. Tuned. I know your wife. You know my wife. But nonetheless, so we're working on that. Obviously, like having fun with the kids. That's the thing. They're in school, so it's like, you know, helping them with schoolwork, which it's been odd because she hasn't really brought stuff to home. Yeah. But she says she has tests. So it's like, wait a minute, what? Like math. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that too deep. But so that's like throwing me off. So we got to find that rhythm.
You do.
It's all about a rhythm.
Man, started the school year. Yeah, it's funny because same thing with my son. Where I mean, he's in middle school, but and the girls, they're older. They're already done. You know, with you know, elementary, grad, you know, so on and so forth. Grade school, yeah. So same thing. Like, you know, it's like, hey, you got work, and then no, like. We know the school that he goes to, they assign a lot of work, right? To try to keep them ahead of regular public school. He goes to a charter school. So, like, they have a lot of work that they have. But then you'll ask them, no, they didn't sign anything. Bro, are you sure?
Right.
And I start getting emails, notifications from the teachers in the school, like, are you sure you didn't have something to turn in? They didn't assign me any work for some reason. Everyone else got work, but me. They didn't assign me anything.
Oh, boy. Okay. I haven't got all of that yet. But even I'll look at, because Rain goes to a charter, well, they go to a charter school as well. And I'll look at the binder, nothing's in the binder. So I'm like, what's what? But at any rate, that's what it looks like for us, right? As fathers, as men, and the list goes on. However, as we talked about in the title, as the title disclosed, we will be talking about success today. Largely because, like I said, a lot of people are striving towards it. However, some people don't even realize what they're striving towards.
That's true.
And some people are even striving towards a picture of success, which other people actually have, like tangible things. And they look at those things as qualities or attributes or items of success, but then not really knowing there's more like under those things of achievement, which I know you are a man of success. You talked about these various things that you are doing and things that, you know, you have done. But like, even through all those things, like, what do you think has been a like focal point for you to track whether or not you've been successful, or even how do you describe or success?
Bro, it's funny. Everything that you were just saying a moment ago in my head, I was just thinking like, man, I could talk about this. I could talk about that. You had mentioned a moment ago regarding sometimes people see the result or the thing that, you know, potential. But then many years ago, Pastor Poe would talk about something that he would said regarding the fact that people might see a thing, the end result, but they don't know the blueprint, right? Like with every building, right? With everything that gets built, whatever, there's like a blueprint. There are steps and things that are necessary in order for you to get to that end product, right? For me, one of the things that I can definitely say that I like to do, there's a saying, and I don't know if you've heard the saying, it's pretty popular, I think, but, you know, how do you eat an elephant?
Gotcha, So, one bite at a time.
One bite at a time, right? So, there are many ways, I would say, we can measure success, depending on the thing that we're trying to achieve, right? If we think from like a business standpoint, for me, I love marketing and communications. That's my background. And if I'm putting together a campaign, or if I'm doing something, in the end, it's like, okay, here's the big thing that we're trying to achieve, but what are the small steps that are necessary in order to achieve that thing? And those small things can be considered, I can capture them as successes, right? A couple weeks ago, I had talked about something about the fact that we can look at a thing and scare ourselves out of the thing that we're trying to achieve. Scare ourselves out of even starting, right? Like, okay, let's say, I'm totally going to make this up. Let's say I want to build a computer, right? That's a major task, right? Where someone comes to me and let's say I want to put together this amazing big computer that does everything you could even think of, gaming and, super fast processor and so on and so forth, without necessarily having that background or knowing everything. Like, that could seem like a big task. But sometimes it's good to think and like slow down a little bit and say, okay, well, if I want to build this computer, what is something that I know that I can, achieve now? What's a small step, right? Step number 1, do this. Okay. If you completed step number 1, that's success right there.
Boom.
You're one step closer to getting that thing that you're trying to get or whatever, right? Like, back to the world of marketing or whatever. Let's say, usually in business, it's whether or not conversion, right? Were you able to get a sell? Were you able to get someone to change their mind about a particular product? Were you able to, in the end, make money? But there are different ways you can measure success as well, right? Let's say you have a social media campaign and you want to get likes, you want to get views, you want to get people commenting on your post. That's one way you can measure success, right? Okay, you create a benchmark and say, okay, well, I would like, by the end of the week, I want 10 people to like my post, right? You track it to see, okay, where are we along the lines? Boom, we hit 10 people. As a matter of fact, we hit 15 people to like our post.
Major success.
It's something small, or might be small, but in the end, it's really something major. As you'd mentioned, I wear multiple hats. One of the hats that I wear also is the children's pastor over at our church. And recently, one of the lessons that we had, we talked about Jesus feeding the 5,000, with the 5 loaves of bread and 2 pieces of fish and so on. So that by itself, that's major.
Major success.
How you going to feed 5,000 people, right?
Yes.
Like, of course, to Jesus, it wasn't intimidating. But to someone, be like, dang, 5,000 people. Now, that's a lot of people. And they all hungry.
Right.
Looking at you like,
what we going to eat?
Have you seen that meme with P. Diddy and, I don't know, whoever that contestant is, but like when they start looking at each other and they do like the Diddy stare?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Dang it. I'm about to throw it up.
Those of you watching, I'm sure you probably know the Diddy stare. So they probably looking at Jesus like, I'm hungry.
Right.
Right. But in that lesson, though, we a lot of times focus on Jesus feeding the 5,000 people with the 5 loaves of bread and 2 pieces of fish, right? But actually, we got to peel that back and go back a little bit, and look at how it started. The way that he was able to feed the 5,000, it all started with a small little act, a small little thing, which was there was a boy who had his lunch. Now, never mind the fact that this little boy had 5 loaves of bread and 2 pieces of fish for his lunch. That's a lot for you to be eating, boy. Hey. He's a grown boy, maybe.
I was about to say, we don't know what size the boy was. Nor do we know the mother. Some mothers can overpack some things. You know what I'm saying?
But it all started with just that one boy with, where it created, I don't want to say like a domino effect, but like it started with the one.
An opportunity.
Right, an opportunity to where like, okay, if he wasn't able to provide Jesus with the lunch that he brought, which then transitioned and grew even bigger. So it's like one act could potentially take care of a bigger need.
Yes.
Right?
Very true.
So if you want to measure success in that case, like, it was very successful in that he had his he was able to transition his lunch, the small little lunch that he had, to where it was fed 5,000 and then some, because they even had leftovers, right?
True.
They had some leftovers.
True.
So it depends on what you're looking at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I'll get your opinion in a moment, but and it depends on what it is that you're trying to achieve, how it is that you look at the thing, right? And then to say, okay, what can I do to go towards or move towards that bigger goal that I'm trying to reach? And
I like that.
Tracking things as you go along to check them off the list to say, well,
Yeah.
I was successful in doing this one, step 2, step 3. You know, where the end goal, you have the big thing circle, right? It's like we're trying to eat an elephant one bite at a time. I like elephant ears, though. So
respect from the fair.
From the fair.
Okay.
And real elephant ears.
The more you know. Learn something every day about some people. But I love what you're saying, because you actually are in line with the way I view success in a lot of ways. Not eating elephant ears, right? But nonetheless, the side of success, because I even look at my life, or even look at things in life in various compartments. Yeah. Because I mean, to your point, we have a lot going on. In your week, you have a lot going on. But of course, those weeks compiled by days. So in your day, you have a lot going on. So even myself, I look at each and everything that I do in like compartments, right? There's the work life, there's home life, there's father life, there's husband life, there's personal life, there's growth life in the personal life, and the list goes on, right? So I say that to say, within success, I compartmentalize it, right? So if it's like success as far as like personal goals. So I could have a goal of wanting to read a book in a month. Goal set, right? And with that goal set, I'll then progress along to read of that book in a month. And if I continue along a plan or a path that I set, I'm being successful. Right? And so I'm successful along the way towards success. So in essence, I see success as setting a goal, working towards a goal, and it's not even, working towards the achievement of a goal.
I like what you just said. Say it again. I'm successful on the way to achieving success. Did you make that up?
It came up.
Bro, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, because I say that because even like going to college, right? We both going to college. We both going to master's school. And, so cool. We have that in common. So with it, we started our undergrad. The goal was graduation. Right? And I took like 5 years to graduate because I changed my major 3 times. And my parents said my parents said, you need to come on out. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to come on out. So, I changed it one more time and I got out because they were paying for it. But I say all that to say, I was successful each and every year because I was progressing towards the goal. The goal was graduation. The goal was completion. Period. That's what the goal was. Like, I didn't even have like a goal outside of that as far as a job, a career, and things like that. My goal in undergrad was to go to graduation. And so as I was progressing each and every year, my freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year, my senior year, right? 2 juniors, right? Because that's when the shift occurred. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. I thought I wanted to be in finance. Then I decided I love business in general. So I did that. But in it all, with it all, I was successful each and every year. Each and every time I did not quit. Right?
Bro, that's awesome.
How was I successful? How was I able to say I'm successful each and every year? Even though I haven't accomplished a goal, I didn't quit. I didn't stop. I didn't delay. I kept going. I kept pushing. And even if, right, let's just say I was to stop or like pause, right? Because some people do. Right? Not everybody. Okay. It's okay as long as you have a plan towards the progression or a plan towards what's next. It's okay to start a thing and not to complete a thing if you have a plan on what you're going to do in that time span, right? And then you could just be successful on that new turn. So as long as you have a path, right? So that's personal. That's purposeful wise, right? I know my purpose in life, right? And if I continue to do those things, if I continue to share love and bring smiles to people's faces, I am accomplishing, I'm successful in my purpose. And I don't have to look at external things. That's the main thing that I want to help people to do. And not look at external, what's the word where like somebody like pat you on the back or whatever, and say like good job. Like what is that called? Like
hype you up, gas you up.
No, it's a thing that people like really want. Like people like strive for it, and sometimes they don't get it, so they'll do like anything to get it. Like let's just say like
someone's probably thinking, screaming in the answer right now.
All right, type it in the comments, but it's okay. We're playing like a little taboo, but I have somebody here so I can do it. But it's like, you know, even a female will do things that she normally wouldn't do for a male, but she's yearning for that
attention.
Okay, attention, but it's another word that she yearns for that a man will give, right?
And it come to you later.
She's fault. I mean, it didn't come to you. But nonetheless, like, I veered all the way over there to try to get some level of success. But I'm back over here to say that people will do so many external things for other people's praise, for other people's glory, for other people's attention, if you will, in a quest for success, right? But in essence, they are already successful within themselves if they actually paid attention to what they did and do each and every day. You're a successful professor even before the end of the school year because you're giving the students lessons, you're allowing them to learn more, you're grading their progression of their learning in your course, in your class. So you're even being successful each and every day. So that's the overall idea and goal that I strive to even give people when I talk to them about success, but even want for people that are even paying attention to this episode. Like, bro, you don't have to like have the thing, right, to then be successful. No, you're successful along the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, everything you've said a lot. That got me thinking. You know, just
talk about it.
I'm still thinking about what you said about, you know, successful on the way to success. You should make a shirt or something. You know, you should coin, you know, tagline or trademark that phrase there. You heard it here.
That's the marketer
first. But everything that you're saying, right? It's good for you to have a plan in place, right? A plan in place for and do things for yourself, not necessarily for the praise or recognition or acknowledgement. I'm trying to say the word.
All those things work.
The words,
it's not the word I'm looking for, but
admiration.
It's too big.
Too big. Not to do it for others, but to do it for yourself. And also something that you said, which, you know, I'll talk about and break down a little bit too, just the fact that, you know what? It's good to have a plan, but hey, things don't always happen the way you necessarily planned it originally.
Very true.
So it's good for you to adjust, right? For you to adjust but not lose track of that end goal, right? One of the things that I know for me growing up, before I was, you know, in high school, whatever, I knew that I wanted to go to college. I knew that I wanted to get my bachelor's, and then I actually knew that I wanted to get my master's as well, which I had. But it was in totally different fields. But you know, but it's good for you to adjust, which is fine, which I'll talk about in a moment. But I knew early on that I wanted to have a degree, right? And I knew even then that I didn't want to just start or go and get accepted into college, but I wanted to finish, right? It hit me when, now I don't know how true this was, but I worked at Pizza Hut in high school. A lot of name drop. Pizza Hut, holla at us, you know, maybe for a sponsor. Anyway.
I'll take it.
But yeah, but I worked there at Pizza Hut in high school, and there was a young lady, you know, I was a teenager, she was older than me, of course, or, you know, a lady. She was a driver. But one day we were talking, she said something along the lines of she had like 2 master's degrees and, you know, like whatever other degree. So then I was saying to myself, like, if you have 2 masters, like, why are you delivering pizza? This is something like a high schooler or, you know,
what I should be doing,
you know, and so on. So literally at that time, that conversation that we had, I didn't, you know, dig deep to tell him, you know, like, tell me what happened. Where did you mess up in life? Why are you here? This and that. I didn't do any of that. But but during that conversation, I let her talk and I listened. I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to pick a field that I'm passionate about, that I can actually get into and do long term, right? And then from there, I said to myself, okay, I don't want to be one of those people. Nothing wrong against, you know, people who this has occurred to. But I didn't want to be someone who started school but didn't finish. Because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to accrue the debt. I'm still going to have the student loans. But the money that I should have or would have been making if I had completed the degree, I won't be making that money, but I'll still have the same amount of debt that I have to pay back for the degree that I did not get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then, like, I made my mind the plan of, this is my end goal, and here are the steps that I need to reach them.
Boom.
Now, you said it took 5 years for you to finish your bachelor's, which isn't bad. It's okay, right? One of the things that I tell my daughters is that, like, when you're in elementary school, unless you fail, the people you start with is the same group of people you're going to finish 5th grade with. You get in middle school, 6th grade to 8th. Again, unless something happens, the same group you go in, same group you finish with.
Yeah.
Same thing for high school. Same group you go in 9th, same group you finish in 12th. But when you hit, like, college and adulthood, in a sense, everything's kind of, I don't want to say at your own speed, but you don't necessarily have to try to keep up with anyone.
Correct.
Just because we start school together doesn't mean we're going to finish school together.
Does not mean that, no.
Or
we'll be in the same place.
Things will happen along the way. So make the necessary adjustments, and life happens, right? Where maybe originally I was thinking this was what I needed to do to be successful, but God might speak to us and say, no, actually, I want you to go a different direction. Instead of going this straight line to get to your degree, you know what? I want you to take a little detour over here. Maybe, go to, whatever other country to minister, or maybe not even go to minister in another country, but I need for you to go and move here because your cousin needs you. I'm totally making this up, right?
Yeah.
So originally you had a straight line plan, but wait a minute, God's directing me here because my cousin needs me and whatever else. All right, okay, are we good? Yeah, all right, back on track. So now you're going back over here. Oh, well, wait a minute, we're just gonna keep it real, right? Oopsie daisy, someone's pregnant.
There's a story. There's a story for it. It's not our life. Oh
no. But then okay, do you quit, lose focus? No, it's all right. You get back on track, to get back on plan, so you can reach that goal. Certain things that happen, it's not the end all be all. Whatever.
Correct.
It's not the end of the world. So just get back on track and focus on whatever that plan is. Okay,
and that's the key part. And so forth, get back on track to whatever that plan is. And I think the key part that we're both saying is, if you want or desire success, you have to have a goal.
That's it.
That you're striving towards and a plan in order to get a goal. Because it's one thing to have a goal, right? But a goal without a plan is a dream.
Yeah.
Is what I believe, right? Because, I mean, I can have a goal of playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Dream big. Go big.
I can see you in the league. Actually, I can see you in there, Ricky. I can see
doing you. What? I don't know.
You know what position you play?
No. I think you said enough, right? He sees me in the league. I can stand on that myself. However, with my dream, my thought, if I don't have a plan in order to get that goal or strive for that goal or even accomplish that goal, then it's just a dream.
Yeah.
I could be dreaming this dream for 15 years.
Yeah.
And because there's no plan. I didn't put any action towards it, right?
Yeah.
So, that's like the key part that I even love that you were even saying. And you see me in the NFL, all right, respect. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? But
let me tell you what position I see you playing, though.
Okay. I'm going to do it for the sake of the listeners.
I see you playing left out.
Out of what?
I don't know. It didn't go in my mind the way the joke went.
He don't know football. That's what that means.
No, I know football. I was trying to say position. Like, left out. Like left tackle, left, whatever. All right.
I thought you were gonna say left out of the tee.
Like, no, like left bench.
No,
all right.
Nope. Can't clean that one up.
The people love it. You, on the other hand, you miss it. It's over your head. Anyway.
Oh, okay, my head. I think it's our head, but ultimately you were successful in that joke. It was no clear route. But you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing, and I think this is gonna be like a cool just segment to even talk about our walks with God and how we are at a place of success even at this time, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say have been some like God breathe, God move moments that have led you to this place of success?
Let me see.
If you have thoughts, cool. If you don't, I'll go first.
Let me see.
Okay. Because I think it's good. It's good to share these things because oftentimes a lot of people are on a path, on a journey in life, and God may tell for them to do a thing, or they may believe or feel that they should be doing a new thing or a different thing. They're like, oh man, I don't see how this is going to equate to what my desires are.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I'll say, so a couple things for me, and at times too, we can put ourselves in the way and make decisions that we want to believe is God.
I like it.
But really it's like us telling ourselves
that's good.
the thing.
That's
and then
good. That's a topic in itself.
It's like, oh, God told me in it, but then, he really didn't.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But and also sometimes too, God might tell us to do a thing and then we don't see the success immediately that we kind of anticipated or wanted, and then we kind of feel some type of way or, upset or whatever else. Well, I say all that to say, so for me, getting my master's, right?
Okay.
So just talking about my story, and so on and so forth. But getting my master's, like I said, I'd forever, I'd wanted to, but then, kind of let it go. Then God kind of spoke to me and say, hey, remember that thing that you wanted? Like, hey, you can go back and you don't have to be a particular age or whatever else, go back and do the thing that you'd always said that you wanted to do. But then, I'd create excuses or whatever. And then talk to my cousin one time, and he had said about, while I was talking to him, and I said whatever I'd said, and then he said something that stuck with me, which was the fact that in life, excuses are always going to come up, right? Because I kept on giving him excuses, like, so it's like in life, excuses are always going to come up. And one thing that my wife always says, which, sticks with me as well, is the fact that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right?
Very true.
So
I love that.
It's all in what you choose to do with that 24 hours.
With that 24.
So, so it's like, all right. So with that, I then went back to the things that I kind of thought about when I was young. And then, God speaking to me and bringing it back, like, hey, remember, you could always do that thing. And then, again, the excuses and my cousin speak. So all of those combined, all right, went through the program, got my master's, West Virginia University, master's in marketing, so on. Super excited, whatever else. Now, going back to a little of what I just mentioned earlier, how sometimes we might see, because things aren't moving the way that we want them to move.
Correct.
We immediately feel like, man, this was a waste. Like, why am I even, So for me, and with my master's, I'll say, I actually resented going back to school, right? I felt like it was a total waste, and, why did I even do it, and whatever else, like, so I felt like there was, I wasted my time and money and whatever else, right? Because again, I did not see the immediate success. But sometimes what will happen in life, not just in this situation, but even like in marriages, right? Like where we might see things one-sided, but not necessarily seeing the other areas of, not necessarily success, but like how the other, I'll say it like this, like, with marriage, and I'll connect it back to what I'm talking about right now. But let's say a partner works and one stays at home. So the one who works might think and feels like, you just spending my money all the time and, this and that, like you do nothing at home. But being a stay-at-home mom or a dad or whatever, that's a full-time job right there.
Full-time job,
like,
absolutely.
How about you look at the fact that, hey, I'm able to take the kids to school and pick them up. I'm able to help them with homework, and you don't have to worry about this. I'm able to do this and I'm able to do that without it being a work. We don't have to pay for, aftercare and all that other stuff. Let's look at the value, the thing that I do, right, versus the thing that you think that I don't do.
Correct.
So back to me and my, so for a while, I resented the fact that I, even went back to school to get, my degree. But where I am in life and things that have happened has been because of me going back and getting this degree. Because like I had a plan where, I would move up in the company I'd worked at prior. But then God had a different plan where it's like, no, remember when you were younger, you said you wanted to be a teacher? Well, now with your master's degree, you could be a professor. You're not teaching little kids. You're teaching big kids.
The way they act.
The way they act.
If you're watching, not you. You're the good one.
So, so going back, so I didn't, in my mind, what I had saw would have been the success that, I had thought it was going to be, but God had a different plan. And even like, the job that I have now, my regular full-time job, part of that was because of the fact that I have my master's degree that helped me to stand out, where my now boss, she reached out and said through, LinkedIn and said, oh, wow, I see that, you have your master's degree in marketing and you're a professor at St. Pete College. Like, that opened that connection in the door for us to start talking and to then, open up even more possibilities, looking down the line, the things that God is revealing, kind of showing that's going to take place. Like, wow, if I did not take that small leap of faith in a sense, or take that step towards the thing that God was telling me, then that would not have opened the doors for where I am currently and where, potentially he's going to, project me to be at in the future. So just, I would say, definitely that's one of the things that, that God had spoken to me about, and that kind of helped with where I am right now and my success and where I could potentially, grow too. And so on. But yeah.
And I love that. And I even love it with the idea that, we all have a thing, right?
Yeah.
So even if you're bold enough to share your thing, drop it in the comment section. But even for like myself, I know one of the, well, I won't say big ones. Why not? One of the big ones was that when I graduated from LSU, my undergrad, I had the idea that I wanted to be a chaplain in the military, more specifically the Air Force. And so you had to go to get your master's in order to do so, in order to be a chaplain. And so that's what I did. Well, upon meeting Crystal there, like the first week of school, we started talking and getting to know each other within that first month of school. And then in our conversation, it was like, wait a minute, like maybe I should not be a chaplain, right? And in talking to her, I realized, no, like what I should be doing or what I could be doing is being a missionary. Because the things in which I wanted to do as a chaplain, there were some things that I didn't even want to do there. However, in talking to Crystal, I realized being a missionary, I was able to do everything and all the things that I wanted to do without any like, okay, no, I'll do that, but I don't want to do that. So hopefully somebody else get called for that. I know it was like a full package of what I wanted, and it was a shift though. So what that then allowed for me to do is like reorient my goal. Right, my goal wasn't a whole like Masters of Divinity, because that's what you have to have in order to be a chaplain, which is like 90 hours. I could then, technically I could have dropped out, but I'm not one to like start a thing and then like quit a thing. So I was like, okay, let me just shift this thing, and I was able to get out with a degree with like 36 hours. Like there was a Master's of Arts, so I was able to get that to say that I started and I finished, right? Because I always think ahead, and so the goal with that is, even when we have kids, which we do now, I will be able to say, when you start a thing, it's okay to make adjustments. However, don't quit on yourself.
That's it.
If it's something that you wanted to do, something that you strive to do, something that you have it in yourself to do, it's okay to make adjustments. Just don't quit. That's the moral of that degree at the end of the day. And so now that's what we do. We've done missions. We've done countless missions together. We've been on the mission field together and things like that. But that was like a shift. That was a shift. But however, I'm still successful in the thing that I pursued in the beginning. It just looks a little bit different because of, conversations, word from God, hearing from God, making that shift and adjustment, and even to the point of moving. You had talked about that. When we were married. So when I graduated from school, it was like, okay, where are we going to move? What are we going to do now? And we were initially going to go to D.C. We were going to go to Maryland. And that was our focus. We were like, we're going to go there and grow and groom ourselves in the ministry. However, God was like, no, like you all should go to Tampa. And so I had to break it to Crystal, like, hey, babe, like, God is saying like we need to go to Tampa, not D.C. And so we had conversations. Inevitably, we moved to Tampa, and God is good that we did, because we were able to spend time with Pastor Poe and able to make all these, relationships that we have, and the list goes on. So, again, those are just like 2 times where I'm able to look back and to see and to know that even though we had a goal, we had a plan, we were striving towards a point of success. There was a shift, there was a change that then rerouted us to another point of success. And we were able to but we were able to achieve that success because we were progressively moving towards it and doing the things that God told us to do, and then boom shakalaka, right?
Yeah.
And so I even say all those things to say and give us with that mindset that success isn't like a one hitter thing, right? It's not like, oh, when I do this one thing, then I can sit back and be successful.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, once you achieve a goal, once you achieve a point of success, then it will lead you to another door of success. Because, I mean, you don't stop.
I agree, yeah.
You can't quit, right? Like, the quit is the end, right? But even in death, there's success because then we get to go to heaven. Ooh, that's eternal, right? So it's like it's the never-ending door of success that we live in life, and so you know, some people, you know, call it what it is. They live a life where it's like, my success will be measured when I have the Rolls Royce. My success will be measured when I have the Bentley. Like, cool. Like, I desire those things. This is why I said them.
Yeah.
But it's not like those things are tangible assets of success. Like, no, those will be byproducts of the success that I live in life. And my real success is the impact that I have on others.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you know, good to be open-minded, right? And adjust as needed. Yeah. But something else, too, is going back to, like, you know, thinking about success. Don't measure your success based on another person or what you think or where you think you should be at in life, right?
I like it.
Well, social media sometimes
dangerous.
People, man, it's so dangerous.
Yeah.
People put out there what they want you to see or want you to think, right?
Period.
Like people will
run that back. Yeah,
people put out there what they want you to see or want you to think, right? But that's not necessarily reality.
That's not the total package. That's not the full story.
Yeah, because even like a while ago, they said reality TV or reality TV. Reality TV is not reality, right? Scripted. So sometimes what we'll see or what you might see, and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses in a sense, right? Because now you could either put yourself in the bind, put yourself in the hole financially, emotionally, spiritually, you know, physically, whatever it might be. Good. One of the Lees. Right?
Hello. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing the symmetry of your words.
So you can put yourself in a situation trying to keep up with someone, right? When who said that's what you need to be like? What life needs to look like for you?
Yep.
You know, I'll use my personal story. Well, actually, my brother's story, where many years ago he used to work for a pretty big hotel, and then he lost his job, but his background is in accounting and finance and so on. But he could not get a job in working for like another hotel or in the field because he didn't have his degree. Like he's older than me, but he didn't have that piece of paper, which sometimes it's like, come on, you know, like I have the skills. Yeah. I just don't have that piece of paper and so on. But sometimes though, what was happening with him, which I'll say, he was thinking like, well, I should be up here. Like if I get hired for my next job, I need to be making $150,000. Well, you know, you're kind of like down here. Let's go ahead and just, you know, let's be realistic, right? Like it's good to create our SMART goals or whatever. And like be realistic to know, like, okay, let's not try to, you know, want something that's like way outside of the scope of what
try to be like your brother.
You're funny. But he had lost his you know, job, and he was trying to get a job somewhere else, but he kept on hearing the same thing of, you know, great candidate, ideal candidate, but that piece of paper he didn't have. And I will say, he actually had reached a point where he went through some depression.
Gotcha.
You know? Like, you know, which it could be kind of hard. Like you feel like I am 20-something.
I like it.
All of my friends, they're successful in this and that. Never mind the fact that some of them were faking, you know, trying to pretend like they were successful when they really weren't, you know. But then he started to think, well, I'm, you know, 27, 29, 30, however old he was at the time, like, I should be here in life. But then sometimes, you know, with the thing I had said to him, I said, and sometimes it's good for you to think about, like, who says that you have to be there in life?
Good. That's good.
Where is it written that says, okay, if you're 29 years old, you need to be married with, you know, house and
2.5
kids and 2.5, kid, white picket fence.
Hello.
Where is that written?
Yeah.
It's not written anywhere to say like you have to be the thing, and we're trying to keep up with other people, thinking like and that's how again we can get ourselves in trouble, trying to buy things and do this and do that. Well, that person has a Bentley, so I should be able to get a Bentley too. You don't make Bentley money. One, and two, you don't know that person. That Bentley might be a loaner, doesn't even belong to him or whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm totally making this up, of course. Right. But like when you start comparing and start looking at what other people have and think like, well, if you've got it, then I should get it. And if I'm 35, my what's the thing, like, I know we're not women, but women would say like my
menopause.
Your clock,
my biological clock.
My biological clock is ticking.
Yes.
Right. What? Nowhere does it say necessarily like once you hit a certain age, like life is supposed to look like this for you, because you have your own path that you're taking where life might look a little different. But that doesn't mean that you're any less successful than the next person.
Very true.
Right? I might not have a big 5-bedroom, 10-bedroom house, but I've got a 2-bedroom condo, and I've got, a lot of money saved in the bank or whatever. So instead of me paying crazy money for a 10-bedroom house, I'm doing okay with this 2-bedroom condo in my small little car, but yet I have a lot of money saved towards my future, right? Whereas you're eating all your money now in the present, I'm saving my money towards the future. Like there are different ways
to live
we can
life.
Live life and measure what we think is successful, and look at just again the small things, and not comparing, trying to live up to anyone's standard other than what God is telling you.
Boom.
And what you're telling yourself, and where you have positioned yourself in life to achieve whatever these different small, medium-sized, and large goals might be, right? So,
I love that, because even what you were saying just even opens up a whole nother conversation for another day of the mental effects of attaining or striving towards success. Because, to your point, you could be thinking so many different thoughts, right? Of it's not happening the way I want it to happen, or as fast as I want it to happen, which is a big thing that can then lead people to do all sorts of things, right?
Sorts of things.
Just because of a lack of patience or a thought of how long it should take, or to your point, the biological clock is ticking, and then, I've seen all kind of stuff, man. People end up in predicaments that they later look back on and think, oh my gosh, like, why did I do that? Or I'm stuck with this decision for the rest of my life.
And it's crazy too, like when we live life, how sometimes, or going back to connecting it to the word and Bible and whatever, right? Crazy stuff happened to people in the Bible too.
Very true.
God says I'm gonna have a baby. My wife can't have a baby. Well, I want a baby. Well, go on. Take my
but his wife persuaded him. That wasn't on Abraham. You know what I'm saying? That was Sarah's idea.
Yeah.
He was just a submissive husband.
Man,
his wife.
So it's like they made some mistakes too.
They made a mistake.
Mess around and end up with a child that's not the way God told you to bring.
Correct.
That's not what I said.
That's not what I said. That's not how I said it was gonna be.
And that's the thing. Like, it's just kind of showing the word like it's modern day. Like we're living it now.
We're living it now.
And, things that would kind of capture in scripture, many years ago, but you could apply it to today's life. It's still very much true,
very
right?
much so.
Where we insert ourselves and, try to interpret things in a way that we think it should be, or based on what somebody else is telling us it should be, trying to keep up with this person, trying to keep up with that person. Well, Ricky got 2 little ones, maybe I should have me a baby too. No, I ain't got no baby money.
Hello, them things add up.
I don't have baby money right now. But anyway, stop keeping up with others and just stay on pace with yourself. Stay in your lane, as they say. I like
that. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. So even wrapping it all up, I love that. Stay in your lane. Don't try to keep up with other people. But then as well, like, your level of success will be achieved by the goals in which you set. Right? Because I set goals on a regular. And I have fulfillment and striving towards the completion of those goals, towards my level of success. And I have personal happiness. And so, I share those moments here and there on my socials, but that's just how I choose to live my life. I can't live my life in a way, as O'Neal has even talked about, through his lens of being a professor, because I'm not grading papers, because I'm not before 54 students, right, in a week sharing information. That doesn't make me unsuccessful. No, that makes him successful in his endeavors. However, I have to find my own in my own way. So, you can have success. You can be successful. God wants you to be successful in your life each and every day. And so, find your way. Now, are there any other words that you want to share to end it all off?
Well, find your way, find your passion, right? Like, find the thing that excites you and gets you up in the morning.
Yep.
It's the thing that, you could see yourself doing for the rest of forever, whatever it might be, right? For many years. Then that will be the thing that really drives you to want to be successful. Because if it's a thing that you actually want to do versus something that you feel like
you could do to get this.
Yeah, like, because
a means to an end.
Yeah, because Rick and I were talking a little bit earlier. If it's something where you're kind of feeling like you're forced to do, or something that maybe going back to trying to keep up with other people, like something that someone is saying or whatever, then you're not going to necessarily be successful in that thing. Like, it's, what is it that I'm passionate about? Well, I'm passionate about, I don't know, like
grading. Teaching.
Yeah, I am. I'm passionate about knowledge sharing. Let me say it like that. But, so knowledge sharing, the things that I've my experience, and kind of like sharing with others, and giving it to you. And in the end, you're gonna do what you're gonna do with it. But that's the thing I love. And that's how we grow. When I give a little bit of what I've learned to you, and then you can pass it on, and so on and so forth. But yeah, just the last thing I want to say, just find something you're passionate about, whatever that thing might be. Maybe you're passionate about walking dogs. I don't know. So then that could be a very successful business, dog walking or whatever, right? Passionate about anything.
Yeah, I'm passionate about helping people live their best life and making people smile.
That's it.
Like, that's my passion, which is why I do so many different things that I do. It's all fueled from that passion. That's good. Yeah. So, I like that. Boom, boom, diggity. Well, hey, just like that, great people, you can find your success. You could be on your path towards your personal success with the things in which we even shared today, which I'm excited because we will have future conversations even on Thursday, as we've now segmented this potentially as conversations with Christians. So make sure you tune back in on Thursday, because myself and my brother O'Neal will be here before you all. If, like I said, you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button, that bell notification, so that you know when we will be dropping. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, click that follow, subscribe, whatever it tells you to do. Go ahead and do it so that you can lock in, be in with what we have going on, and we'll be talking about in the future, because we even talked about like various things that we could talk about in the future. So obviously there's more talks to be had and more conversations that we will share. So until next time, we love you all and we appreciate you all. Till next time, peace.